Hello again and welcome to the channel Amanda Gets Growing. If you've not seen this channel before, it's about me, yes Amanda, growing fruit and veg organically in my back garden here in the southeast of England. And obviously one of the reasons to do this, apart from all the lovely tasty produce that you can grow, is to cut costs on those really expensive supermarket bills that just keep going up and up and up. It's insane. And to that end, obviously then you want to find a way to grow fruit and veg as cheaply as you can. And I did do a recent video on how you can fill planters without using lots of bags of compost, which I think a lot of people have found helpful, so I'll pop a link in the description below. But today I want to talk, in a similar vein, I want to talk about how you can improve soil health without spending lots of money on compost or soil improver or feeds. You know, the list goes on and on. And you can really do that using material that you have to hand in your garden at home. Now this soil here needs a good amount of TLC because it used to have a very well established shrub in here. I don't think anyone had made any attempt to enrich the soil the whole time that that shrub had been in the ground, and it had probably been in there a decade or two. I have sort of mainly chalk soil here. It's not particularly nutrient rich and the moisture just drips through it. So moisture retention is a real issue for me, especially because my garden is surrounded by lots of well established trees. Now I've put these red currant bushes in and I really want to boost the soil so I can give myself the best chance of eating lots of lovely tasty red currants next year. Now we know that this soil here needs a bit of extra TLC, but what materials can we use for this purpose? Well, the good news is that there's lots of different materials that you can use. One of my absolutely favourite things to use, just because it is completely low effort, and if you've got a lawn you're going to have access to this from spring to autumn anyway, is of course grass clippings. And grass clippings are perfect to put around the base of the plant, and because you've already kind of cut them up when you've been mowing, you don't need to cut them up again, so that's great. Now I already did put some grass clippings around the base of this red currant bush when I put it in, so I've already started the process there. But what can you use if you don't have a lawn? Well, any other healthy plant material that you happen to have, anything that you're clearing out, old plants, maybe shrub, you know, leaves and so on, absolutely perfect to use. Just obviously give them a good chop up. That brings me on to another real hero plant actually that's incredibly underrated and that we all have access to. Dandelions. Yes, the humble dandelion. And the reason why I want to talk about dandelions is because, you know, they have that really deep taproot that goes far down into the ground, as you'll know if you've ever tried to dig dandelions out. And what that taproot does is, it means that the plant is able to access nutrients that a lot of other shallow-rooted flowers and plants simply can't. So that means that the leaves are absolutely packed full of goodness. Now, obviously only use the leaves, don't include any of the roots or of course the seed heads, because you're just going to be digging dandelions out forevermore. But they truly are a fantastic plant to use for this purpose. And then that brings me on to the final plant. Now you may not have access to this, but it's something we can all grow in our gardens, so I highly recommend it. And that is comfrey. Now comfrey is it's a perennial plant. It's absolutely adored by bees. It has these beautiful flowers in the summer months. Sometimes they're blue or pink or purple, depending on the variety. I think you can even get white comfrey actually. Some people say that comfrey is a very invasive plant, and it hasn't been in my garden. It's not been my experience, but if you have any concerns about that, then do check out the varieties that you can buy that do not self-seed. There are some varieties, I think one's called bocking, that you only have to take cuttings in order to be able to propagate it, so it can't actually propagate itself, if you know what I mean. So comfrey, fantastic plant, packed full of nutrients. You don't just, it can be used for many different things, not just soil improver like this. You can also put it in your compost bin, and it helps apparently to speed up decomposition. And also some people use it to make feeds. So a fantastic plant. Now when you've got leaves this size, or say here with the remainder of my squash leaves, what you want to be doing is chopping them up around the base of the plant. And the reason to do that really is to help speed up the decomposition process. So let's give that a go now. So once you chopped up your plant material, you can literally just lay it around the base of the plant. And it's as simple as that. And then you just let nature do its work, let nature break down the leaves, and all of that goodness will go into the soil and reach the roots of the plant that you're trying to grow, and hopefully lead to lots of tasty harvests. Now, those are the plants that we should be using. What is it best not to use? Well, a lot of it is common sense. Obviously, if you're using any type of weed from your garden, and not just dandelion leaves actually are good for this purpose, but also nettles if you're feeling brave, do make sure that you don't carry across any of the seeds or the roots, because the last thing you want is to be spreading weeds around your garden and giving yourself lots of extra weeding work. And then if you've been watching my channel, you'll also know that I have a bit of an issue with pests. So in particular leaf miner. Now leaf miner looks like this. If you want to find out more about leaf miner, I'll pop a link in the description below to my video on leaf miner and also the short that I did. Yeah, and I would say moving on, not just plants affected by leaf miner, but any plants, the material that you have, and you kind of look at it and go, it's not looking very healthy, and you're not sure if it's some kind of pest or disease. Obviously avoid putting that around the base of your plant, because you just don't want to be spreading that around your garden. So those are the plants that I recommend you use and you don't use. I'd be really interested to hear in the comment section below if you have any other plants that you like to use or material that you like to use for this purpose. It's always good to get a few more tips. So enough talking from me. I'm now going to get on and put that plant material around the base of these red currant bushes here. And hopefully in doing that, it means I'm going to have lots of tasty red currants come the summer next year. If you're watching the video and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, it would be really great if you could subscribe. Now, obviously it does help the algorithm, but more importantly than that, it's just really good motivation for me to keep making these videos. And it means that I know that people are enjoying my content, finding my content useful. And yeah, it would be really great if you could subscribe. But anyway, I'm going to crack on with this job now, and until next time.